Welcome back to another episode of Full Circle with me, Onyx. And we're doing the benefits of like the heart chakra work and heart chakra therapy. I haven't named it yet, but I would like it to be a book and like a workshop where people can come and experience this for themselves. Um, just because it's so powerful. Um, Anyways, let's kind of move on. I'm already kind of like having visions about it. So, moving on, some of the benefits of working with your heart. Now, you can just do this on your own, in your own way, however you're guided. For me, I used a pillow. Uh, so, whatever, you can just take the information and go with it. Or I don't know what your journey is. I don't know where you're at or what's needed for you. So I can speak about my experience um, working with the heart chakra area. Um, and in a really weird way, I've always been connected to my heart chakra. Just not like in a traditional way. So one thing that definitely happened is I was able to have visions through my heart. So when I do like shamanic visioning, when I use my third eye, uh, I've had the same experiences right through my heart chakra. I could see these beautiful angelic sunsets from a whole nother realm right through my heart chakra. And so that is something that can be achieved when you're working with your heart chakra. Your heart can actually see, just like your third eye is just as powerful. And it was light. It was literally like looking through a window into another glorious reality. And that was just through my heart chakra. It was beautiful. Um, and so yes, that's a thing. Another thing that can happen is you can literally, when the heart chakra starts to turn, it's connected to your crown, and so your crown chakra could start to open up by working with your heart chakra. I'm just gonna say could. I mean, even though I've seen it. So I've started taking this work outside of myself, and I've introduced it to one of my friends, and you know, he doesn't have a background in therapy, body work. He's just, kind of super intuitive and awesome. And so I was like, you might, I want to share what's going on with me. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, like we don't have to hug or anything because I don't know, because, you know, so I was like, just be there open, and I'm just going to be here open, and I'm just going to let my heart do its thing. And as I did that, I could clearly see um, into him, and I saw his heart chakra start to move. And as it moved, I saw these energetic threads connected to his hands and connected up into his crown. And as it moved, as it dialed in, literally like almost like a calm to a safe, as it started to move a little bit, the threads lit up, and I saw the energy come down the stream, this thread, and I saw activating him, and I could feel vibrations through his body. And he kind of went into shock, his physical body, to have a heart turned on that way. And just knowing his backstory a little bit, his relationships tend to be more intellectual, and less, it could be like aggressive physical, but it's lacking the warmth and the intimacy. He has it through his voice and his ideas and sexuality, but it's just not expressed in his presence, like his heart chakra. And I was surprised because he's just so spiritual and awake, yet his heart chakra is so not activated. So just by being opposite of me, just facing me, and my heart open and beaming, it started to spin and activate his heart chakra and crown chakra to a whole new level. And so I've been friends with this person for a couple years. And so this person's starting as a complete stranger to an acquaintance, to a friend, to a good friend, to finally someone who feels comfortable enough to stand face to face, probably a good foot away, maybe foot and a half away. So that was his comfort level. And it started working wonders instantly. And definitely made changes throughout the week. You'll have to come over again, and I'll have to do an interview, see how he's doing. Um, so the healing power turns on. When I first was doing this work, I was doing it long distance with my boyfriend at the time. And so the way I like to work with my heart is I just grab this really cool purple pillow I have and I give it a hug. So because it was a long distance relationship, I'm tactile. I'm a feeling type person. I need something to touch in order to ground me into this reality. Otherwise, everything's just visions. Everything is just cosmic sensations. So I literally need to hold on to something to anchor me into this reality because it's so easy for me to be multi-dimensional, otherworldly. Like I live in visions, I live in dreams, I live in an expanded state of awareness. So I need to ground it out by touching. So for me, it made this long distance relationship seem more real. And so I would literally just hold it and my heart chakra would activate. And while that was happening, this beautiful expansion, activation, and depth, I could feel this energy flowing through me like an open window. And I remember the first time it really kind of opened, because it was a new sensation, it seemed very overpowering. And I literally just laid in my bed, electrified, all night. My heart was beating and it was electrified. And continuing that work, my crown started opening up in different ways. And the energy was flowing in a really awesome way. And so it's been very integrative just for my whole chakra system. And then recently I've been doing long distance healings on people. I have a friend who's local in the area. He has a really bad back. And so I just grab the pillow and I think of him until I feel his back and I've connected heart to heart. And when that energy starts flowing, I just move it down my hands and right into his back, and he feels better. And I've done the experiment with another friend. He had an injured knee. He's advanced jujitsu guy, and he was gonna come over and I was gonna do some knee work. I was like, I don't really do massage anymore, but since you're my friend, I could do some injury massage around your knee and maybe some energy work. And I was like, this is a great opportunity to try this. I won't tell him anything. So I grab my pillow, connect heart to heart, feel the energy flowing, and then I just think about his knee. And I'm like, well, I'll just hold the pillow in one hand, heart to heart, And then with my other hand, I'll just go to my knee and I'll just pretend it's his knee. And I'll just send the energy. And I did. So the next morning, he was coming over. And right when he got to the door, he's like, well, my knee's better. And I'm like, I know, because I did the energy work last night. So I just wanted to run the experiment and see how it went. And so the gift of healing automatically opens. If you're like, so if you're having trouble with your own energy practice, you might be like someone who does Reiki or works with some type of energy and you're feeling blocked or shut down, I would say go to your heart chakra and start working on it. Start cleaning it out. Healer, heal thyself. And when I woke up this morning, that was like the message. It was healers, heal yourself. And taking that time for self care creates longevity. You know, an ounce of preventative medicine is a pound of cure. So, uh, the next thing is the yin yang balance. Fire and water, masculine, female, the yin and the yang. When you work with your heart chakra, it clear some people are over polarized. They might feel they might feel more secure in their identity as feminine. Some might feel more secure as masculine, despite the body gender identification. Um, and so my masculine takes a backseat to my feminine. My feminine is way more empowered and had more permission to develop growing up with a house full of women, where the masculine in me had to take a backseat. There were no role models, so I didn't even know what that was. And then homophobia was a big thing, so you can't connect with men. You can't be going out looking for your mentor and going through all those stages, looking for dad. Everyone thinks you're gay because you have a deep need to connect. So deep, it's physiological, it's DNA, it's vibrational. Like the closest thing to that we identify with our sexuality. And so that's really easy to get twisted. Um, and besides it just being twisted that way, you could then also, on top of that, gender identify with whatever that is for you. And so there's layers to it. But working with the heart chakra, that's the middle ground. And that's also kind of where the duality meets. So the element is given air for the heart chakra. And air can be masculine or feminine. It could also be neutral. So we kind of get neutrality here. So it's really interesting in like Joe Dispenza's work where they start learning to self-regulate. It's the mind and the heart working together. Um, but moving on a little bit, we kind of get the point. You can balance yourself physiologically, energetically. Uh, those 7 principles of the Hermetic, the Kabbalion, put out by the 3 Hermet initiates, it balances those 7 principles when you work with the heart chakra. And it's hinted at in Crowley's Unicrucial symbol, with the sun being the center, and it's this yellow rose. Um, and so you can work your planetary alchemy also. And if you have a very developed heart chakra, it just strengthens the whole star. So there's so much really going on to that if you want to go into occult details, but you can spare yourself that and start developing the experience. So moving on from that, even today, I was like going through a hard time. I thought I was story writing my life, the way I was perceiving it. And I was like, you know what? Let's challenge this. Let's grab your pillow and get a hug from your dad. your adoptive dad. Even though he's on vacation, and even though you guys don't hug, you're not at that level yet, you don't have that great a relationship yet, you can just hug. And I totally did. I was like, you know what? I need a hug from my dad. And then I switched, and I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm going to be dad hugging me. And so a lot of times I will switch roles. This is advanced alchemy. Uh, Switching roles. It's part of the development of Tantra. Uh, and so much more. Because crown chakra is like oneness realization. It's like God realization. You are God, God is you. The subject and object are one and the same. The division of duality happens. Its roots are in the heart chakra. That's one reason why it balances the yin yang, feminine, masculine energy, uh, the black, the white, the right, the wrong, the duality of it all. It gets balanced at the lower level here through the heart chakra, but in a weird way, it's almost like it has roots in the crown chakra. And it's like if you don't get those fundamentals in the heart chakra, you don't understand or get full access to the crown chakra. So it'd be like you might just have like a little bit of crown chakra activity going. And so in the Kabbalah, basically there is a tree of life above our tree of life, and its roots go into the crown. And so one level, so it's like literally the roots of the next kingdom, the heavenly kingdom, the next dimension. Its roots come down, but they connect into the heart chakra. So it's literally like the lotus flower. Its roots, its good roots, are in the heart chakra. That's where the higher self grounds into. And so when I'm working with my angel, he'll spontaneously join the hug fest, the heart therapy fest, and he'll like, I'm a full body channel, so which was a surprise to me. And it comes with pros and cons. It's like, wow, full body channel. Whoa, that's a lot on your body. It is. It's like having being astral projected into by a higher being. It's is basically what it is. So my angel jumps in and will participate in the love giving sessions. And he's able to do that because my heart chakra is open enough, balanced enough that once again from the higher realm, it can reach the lowest point that the higher realm beings go is heart chakra. Like that's the lowest point. It's like where heaven and earth meet. Like the lowest level of those, that heavenly light, that glow, heart, and the highest level of this earthly dimension, heart. And so that's also another reason why it's the alchemist star. It's also another reason why it's the center of the tree of life. It is like your main access point. So Crowley kind of talked about it with the will is the law, and the law is the will, and love over the law, but the law over love, or something like that. Like it was kind of, and that goes into deep stuff, which gives you access to the mysterious lotus wand. Um, but now we understand it all because the roots are in the heart. So you can't really access the lotus wand in the Golden Dawn fully unless your crown is open, the lotus is open, and its roots are in the heart. So you have your regular wand, which is used like in Harry Potter world for all sorts of things. But when you have the lotus wand, you're a bodhisattva. You're awake, yet you're choosing to stay. You know, you have access to both dimensions. And so it's like you can play the game, but you don't need the sword anymore. You can choose a flower. You don't need the regular wand anymore. You can choose the flower of compassion. But you only have that option when your heart and your crown is open. Then the lotus wand works for you. You're a bodhisattva. Other than that, it's all make believe. It's all an act. It's theatrical magic versus true magic. So there are reasons why I stress, especially now at this age. And it's like, yeah, all this cool magical stuff, but people need healing. The planet needs healing. And healing also awakens you to enlightenment. So, in a weird way, you go there anyways. Why would you skip a step? We kind of got a little bit on an occult tangent. Union with the self, alchemy, we've kind of touched upon that. It's really limitless, the potential of how you could develop the depth and richness and dimension of your heart chakra. And I'm just going to point out with Alice Bailey's work, a major occultist and influencer into spiritualism circles, and who is basically the foundation material for a lot of Western mystery material. In the work, it suggests that most likely your lower three chakras are accessing your upper chakras, and whatever you're having happen with your upper chakras is really rooted in the lower chakras. And so you may think you're having these upper chakra activities when really it's just like impulses from the lower that are really governing it. And I can see that very true in my work. I used to do a lot of meditation into the Enochian plane, and I didn't even realize I was hanging out with these Enochian beings. And I was wondering why they had these very strange names. And I was wondering why the headmaster of the school would astral project into these conversations and translate this other type of language to me. And while these sessions were happening and my third eye is pulsing, my solar plex was extremely active. So I could feel that the governing agent of the third eye was still the solar plex. The solar plex is the willpower center. So in magicians, the willpower center is the governing agent, which is seen in the magician card. That's why it's yellow. It's showing you the willpower, and it's the intellect. The color is yellow. So it's still a mind color. Other times, like when I was scrying using my black crystal ball by candlelight in the dark, my root chakra and my second chakra would be highly active and would cause arousal, like these erratic, ecstatic states of energy while I was visioning, and led to some type of kundalini activation. And so once again, it was the lower chakras governing the higher third eye. It was this during the scry sessions, it was the second chakra, the sexuality center. And then recently, when I was doing a meditation, once again, it was like the sexuality center that got highly activated. And so it's weird how, and that led to a whole experience that is not for the video, but, and so it's interesting. You have to develop you have to have good lower chakras. And so you could almost Say the heart chakra is the top of the pyramid for for us. And if you got all that working well, the other ones fall into place. You get access to them, but they don't even need to be fully activated. I mean, because you get vitality, health, and wealth. You get love. You get everything you'd ever want just by developing all the way up to your heart chakra. So everything else would be unnecessary. And because you've created such a firm foundation in your lower chakras, which would be clearing them out, because you want clear energy moving through them. So this is where the healing is important. And this is why the heart chakra has to be used to work with the lower chakras. So why do people never heal? Why do people stay victim? How come you keep going back to the therapist? It's because you might be digging in, going deep, rationalizing, processing stuff, but without the love to balance the polarities, you can get stuck shoveling all that subconscious material. You can get stuck working in the negative energetics the body has accumulated. You need to come up for air. You need to come up for that island oasis, you know? And that's the heart chakra. And you need to be reinfused with that higher energy, realigned to the divine. And then you might want to go back down and dive deep and clear out more stuff. But it's almost like these circles of new age or spiritual people get really into processing the dark stuff, and it becomes their whole life. And it's because they're not balancing the heart chakra. So things can get dirty. It's like you're down in the trenches cleaning the sewer stuff gets on you. You get contaminated. So you need to be able to wash it off. You have to go back up to the heart area where the divine can come down, cleanse you off. You can get realigned, stay there for a while, remember who you are, and get a deeper access to your higher self to do whatever it is that you want to do. And so that's what I'm saying in this installment. Kind of like the benefits and the reasons why and what I've experienced. And it's been a life-changing experience. I'm still me. You can't change you. You are already perfect. But you can change so many other things, which then authentically give you a chance to express your most empowered, divine, authentic you. So the clarity that happens uh, just by doing a lot of work here and some work in the other chakras uh, can transform your life really fast. So the video is going to end soon, but I was going through some stuff I hinted at, and for me it was really traumatic. And I was like, could I just like change this by changing me? Could I all these like stress chemicals were overpowering my body. And I was like, could I change this? And so I grabbed my pill and I started breathing. Or I even at one point was just laying down. And I was like, just relax. Feel your heart relax. Feel the love and relax. And I literally washed out all the negative chemicals, which then changes my polarity to attract the certain situations that were happening. So by controlling my inner environment and by having like over a year and a half practice, it was like go time. It was test time. Let's see what you're made out of. Let's take the exam. You're under a real stressor that you somehow created for yourself to put yourself in this challenge. Now, let's be the alchemist and according to your own will, change your own chemistry, which then changes the outer experiences. It might open a door of opportunity, a little window to escape whatever perceived trauma I was going through. Or if not, help me recover faster, gain my ground and move forward. And all of that is happening, and I must continue the work. So my recovery time was like cut in half. I didn't have to make it my story. I didn't have to over identify with it. I just said, okay, this was a bad experience, and it doesn't even matter if we learned anything from it. Let's just drop it and move on. And so, benefits of doing the heart therapy for yourself, however form you choose it, I can't overstate it enough. What a instant transformer it is, and what a long-term transformative process it is.